Howdy, this is George Phillips Rambler, and I'm welcoming you to my DIY channel. Tiny houses need tiny mirrors, so we're going to take this big mirror, make a more tiny mirror out of it, and today I have a special method to cut the mirror. If you're interested in my special way, come join me. Instead of just sitting around here in the studio today, let's head out and do 13 easy steps to go cut a mirror. First step's pretty easy. Get a mirror or a piece of glass you would like to cut. I got a great price for this mirror at IKEA. Yeah, now we're going to cut it up. The next step is just to remove all the coverings on the mirror. So be careful, if you break that mirror, 7 years bad luck. You know, there's an old legend about Archimedes that he set up some mirrors to fight the Roman ships coming in, and he created a beam off of it, focused at ships coming in from Rome, and actually caught those ships on fire. And if you notice this mirror has been named after Morgan Freeman, God Morgan, because of his great role he played as God.
I'm God.
Okay, so Sammy, you're gonna have to move away. Yeah, you're gonna get burned by this mirror. Okay, go that way. Go, dog, go. He just wants to join in. We could do it right on top of this cardboard. Matter of fact, it's probably better if I did on top of the cardboard, something soft. You can use a blanket. You can do something else with it. But yeah, a little softer material for the mirror. So I'm just gonna leave it on the cardboard instead of getting a carpet out. Make sure you clean the glass off first. And it will cut smoother if the glass is clean. Get that dust off of there, make sure it's sitting flat. Now before you cut the glass, you want to put your gloves on. There's a little bit of crack in this glass right there already. A nip right there out of that. Now, I think we decided the mirror to be about 34 or 35 inches. You don't have to do this if you got a good old T-square, but I'm just going to show you that I could just come down here and mark it at 34. Now after cleaning off the mirror, we're going to square it up. We're just going to use a construction square here and get rid of that. And we're going to clamp it down so we can scribe it a little easier. Now I'm just going to push that in a little bit to get that all squared up. We'll make sure it's nice and square. There it is right there. Now, I'm going to clamp it, but I'm not going to clamp on the mirror because I'll just break the mirror. I'm just going to clamp the square down. And so I'm just going to take that, screw that down tight. Now this mirror came from IKEA. It was on the clearance rack. Looks like there's a little chip there that ain't going to hurt us any. We're going to put a drop of oil here before we scribe it. When you're scoring, etching the glass and scribing the shape you want to have, do we need to use lubricating oil while we're doing it? The answer is no, but I suggest that you do. It does make it easy to slide that cutting blade across while you're scoring that glass. The resulting edge is cleaner, but also reduces the friction on that tool. It keeps that tool bit a little bit cooler. And you can add just a little bit of dab on the edge of that cutting tool too. That also helps out. Now, what oil do we need to use? You can use any light oil you have around the house. Now, they do suggest using a 3-in-1 oil, but it's kind of pricey, but kerosene will also work. Just have to put one drop right here at the edge. A simple glass diamond or tungsten wheel scoring knife with a pencil grip will do you just fine for a straight edge. And that's what we're going to use today. The pencil grip glass cutter, known for its simplicity, is a popular choice for the beginner and the professional. This just goes across here. And you can see there's a little gap between here and here. You might want to use that to calculate about that 1/8 of an inch. So you may want to drop that back 1/8 of an inch if it's important to you to be exact size. Before we start scoring or cutting anything, we want to make sure we put some safety glasses on with side shields. Since we're working with glass, we need to put some leather work gloves on. There we go. Get some gloves on here. Okay, so scribing it, I'm just going to hold this down. Hopefully this isn't getting in my way here.
And I'm just going to get it exactly where we feel it needs to be.
Take time and make sure you're going to score that mirror in the right place. You only get one chance at this. Once your cutter's in the right position, go ahead and take a one straight cut across the mirror.
Hear that sound? That's the sound we're trying to hear. We'll bring it to the edge here. That puts a little scribe mark across the top here. And you probably don't want to double it. You just want to do it once. And hopefully it's been scribed enough.
Look, there's the scored mark.
One thing you can do is lift this up and tap it from underneath. You'd want to put something underneath here and tap it from underneath to get the crack going. And the other thing I've noticed is that you can kind of push down on this until it comes off, and that's why you want to make sure you wear gloves and safety glasses in case it breaks.
Instead of tapping the score from behind and cutting that mirror, I'm going to place the metal square about a ½ inch behind the score mark. This will give it a sharp corner to snap to. I will then proceed to give it a hard press at the end of the mirror, giving enough pressure to snap the mirror at our scored mark. Now we just want to get an X-Acto knife to cut off that protective membrane off the back of the mirror.
There we go. You can see that little film. That's all you're doing, you're just kind of cutting that off. Because it's sharp, you want to take some nice grit sandpaper and sand this edge so you don't cut yourself on it. So now you don't want to take it and scrape or sand onto the top part because it's going to dull it up. This just happens to be 400 grit. This is what I had laying around. I probably want to hit these corners so they're not sharp on here. This corner. I'm going to take it, I'm going to rotate this mirror around. Again, get those corners so they're not sharp, won't poke you. Okay. Now, not all mirrors come with this protective layer on it. You could take it off first before you cut it. I just left it on, didn't hurt anything. And there we go. We got our cut mirror size. There it is. Well, that's sure been a fun project. Well, here's my tiny mirror for my tiny house. No, just joking. I really need the big mirror for a bathroom. But as you can see, as you do a DIY project, you can just jump in and do it, and it doesn't take that much skill to cut a piece of glass or a mirror. And I've had fun doing that today. Now, this is George the Fearless Rambler, kind of reminding you, make sure you have the right safety equipment before you begin. And if you haven't yet subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe. Become a member of my channel. Hit that notification bell. Give me 2 thumbs up, because this is George the Fearless Rambler, ready to hang this mirror, signing off. You know what? I have a new channel. It's called Fearless Off Grid, and I'm going to be putting a lot of this content over onto that channel. So do me a favor, come meet me over at Fearless Off Grid.